First and foremost, no one is allowed to make fun of me for this video. At one point, we were all kids and we all believed in stupid things. Now, my things might be more dumb than your things, but it doesn't matter. We all were stupid. And this is a bully-free zone. So unless you're gonna comment and tell me how smart and not stupid I am, keep your comments to yourself. And if you are gonna comment, you might as well subscribe. But without any further ado, here's the least dumb thing I believed as a kid. This one's less of a belief and more of an activity, but have you guys ever seen that episode of SpongeBob where they were like in the future and everything was chrome? I thought that was so tough as a kid, and as a result, I wanted a chrome house myself, but I didn't know what chrome was, and I had no idea how to obtain it. I was like 7, and I thought chrome existed only in cartoons, so there was no way I was gonna find a way to get chrome, or at least I thought. So the next best thing in my head was ice. Ice equals chrome. Simple, 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 simple. But for some reason, I forgot that you need actual water to make ice. Well, not forgot. I had been taught that there's always water, like air, like water molecules in the air and whatnot. So I figured if I have cold air plus water in the air, everything's gonna freeze over. Solid line of thinking. You can see where I could have gone right, but I went wrong. But yeah, water in the air plus cold air equals froze, right? So I didn't think I needed any extra water to freeze things over. So what I would do before school every morning, because my mom would drop me off, I would turn the AC on, and I would expect to come back to a home that was frozen over. Issue number 1 with that is that that's not gonna work. That was dumb. Issue number 2 is that my mom would come back home after dropping me off at school. So when she would come back home, she would turn the AC off, which unfortunately led me further away from my goal at a chrome home. That was slick. I'm a ninja for real. So my mom never saw me turn the AC on before school. So whenever she would come back and see that the AC was on, she assumed it was just on and no one noticed, or that it was broken. And this went on for 3 days straight. The 3rd day she called the landlord, bro came in, tried to fix the AC. And I don't know how much it cost to fix an AC or to repair an AC, but it must have cost $1 bajillion because she was making it seem like she had to put down a mortgage on just this AC. But I didn't learn my lesson. So I waited until church, because I knew when it's time for church, everyone's going to be gone from the house for at least a couple hours. And that's plenty of time, I thought, to have a chrome home. So the morning before church, I wake up, I get dressed, I have my little bow tie, my suspenders, my glasses, all that, the whole shebang, my nigga. And just before everybody left for church, I turned the AC on, got in the car, we dipped. And I'm about to sound blasphemous. The entire time I was at church, I was not focusing on anything, not the sermon, not the praise and worship, none of that. I was just thinking about my chrome home. I was daydreaming about going back home and slipping and sliding on this ice. Does that make me a bad person? No, remember, I was a child, and children can't be bad. That's just like the law or some shit. And after church, we went home, and you wouldn't believe what I saw when I walked in. There was ice nah, I'm playing. There was nothing. Not even a morsel of ice was in that house. It was just cold as hell, to the point where we couldn't even go inside the house. We had to sit outside in the car. Mind you, it was winter, so it was cold outside too. So imagine how cold it must have been inside for us to have to go and sit outside and wait for it to warm up. I think Buddy might have repaired that AC a little bit too well, but that's just me. The next dumbest thing I believed as a kid was that men could get pregnant. And this could honestly be number 1 on this list, because you can literally go on your phone and look up if men could get pregnant, and I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be no. And honestly, even a sliver of common sense would have snapped me back into place when I first heard this theory. But to be entirely honest and fair to myself, it wasn't entirely my fault. I saw it in a newspaper. And newspapers are known for, being news. So whatever a newspaper tells me, I take it as a law. And that was my first and only mistake in the situation, to be honest, because newspapers be lying, and I knew that. Because I know I've seen plenty of pregnant women in my life, but I had only seen like maybe 1 or 2 pregnant men. So at the very least, men are significantly less inclined to get pregnant. So at first, I didn't fall for this prank, but then I went to go tell my sister that I seen a pregnant man in the newspaper. She told me, as like a prank or something, that she knew the pregnant man and that she would take me to go meet him one day. And all I had to do to go meet this pregnant man was give her my iPod. That was the only requirement. So I gave her the iPod, and we took a 30-minute walk both ways to go see her friend, who was literally just a nigga with a pillow under his shirt. I have never felt more bamboozled in my entire life, and that's the reason I have so many trust issues today. And honestly, since that day, I haven't seen many pregnant men, so maybe I was just being dumb, which I definitely was. But remember, you can't judge me. This is a judgment-free zone, and if I see any mean comments, I'm gonna sound the lunk alarm. I'm gonna keep this last one short because I'm most embarrassed about this one. But the third and dumbest thing I believed as a kid was the price of gas was always put to the 9th power. So I wear glasses now, but for a good amount of my childhood, I didn't want to wear glasses because I thought it was nerdy and I wanted to look cool. So being the cool 10-year-old that I was, I let my eyesight get progressively worse, to the point where if I lose my glasses, I not only lose my sense of sight, but also my hearing and smelling. It's terrible. And if you're curious about how the hell I knew about exponents but didn't know the price of gas, don't worry about it. But that is not the point here. The point here is that I was dumb, right? So everyone was always talking about how expensive gas was, and I was a child with no license or driving experience, so I had no idea just how expensive gas really was. Until one day, while driving past the Sunoco, I looked up at the sign and it said 325, I think, to the power of 9. Or that's what I thought it said. It actually said 325 per gallon, but I saw 325 to the power of 9. So I went home, I did the math, and the answer I reached was $40,402. And you would think that it would click in my head that that is just outrageous and unrealistic, but no. I thought niggas were going around spending $40,452 every time they went to go pay for gas, which nowadays, honestly, might as well be true.